Hey guys, I'm Yannis, and on behalf of Dreadbox, I'd like to present you our new series, the Chromatic Modules, which is brand new. And for now, we only have 6 modules available, but there will be more in the future. So what we have here is the green one is an oscillator. The bluish, is a filter, mixer, VCA, and this one, the purple one, is a 3-stage delays, 3 delays. Then the pink one is 2 modulators or 2 LFOs or a dual ADSR. Then the red one, we have a noise which can do bit crashing, filters, random gates, random CV source, and other stuff. And the orange one is, we call the CV audio manipulator because it's actually mixer, attenuators, inverters, splitters, LFOs. It has a Pasteurizer, which I'll explain later. You can do various stuff here. So to start with, I'll try to give you a quick heads up on how the oscillator works. What's different about this oscillator is that you can have precise tuning each time, without worrying about what's happening there. Am I correct on the tuning? So here is a square wave. And what you do here, you have a quantizer over the octaves, and here over the semitones. Or if you don't want to be quantized, let's go to the sine wave. So another good thing here is that you have a variable waveform. It's not fixed, like choose one waveform. It's like all in between. Will set your width, which works on most waves, except the fixed one, like the sine, the show, and the triangle. This is where the width will not work. For example, this is a width sine wave. And what else you can do here? You can, of course, modulate all that. Let me get an LFO very fast, show you how that works. There you go. At the same time, you can modulate the width. And you can get very complex waveforms. And then you also have 1 volt per octave input to send the keyboard. For example, here is a key step on the arpeggiator. You have a separate CV input. A sync input. Let me see. And you have a pulsed output direct to send or sync all the stuff or use it as a clock. Everything is CV controlled. And then we go to the next module. It's the Eudaimonia, which is a filter mixer VCA. So how that works? You have a 3 mixer to 1 that goes directly to the low-pass filter input. And after the low-pass, you have a separate high-pass filter and the resonance control that works only for the low-pass. The high-pass filter is not resonating. And you have a 24 dB.
Just to kind of cut some of the low end out.
Yeah, but not some. It has it's an 18 dB filter. So let me send sawtooth there. and show you how it works. Directly from the output here and here. So, mixer level, you could set more. There you go. Very simple, very effective. As always, it's a Dreadbox filter. And so after the filters, you go to a VCA, which has the ability to show you the level. So when you pass over the 10 volt pp levels, this goes red. There you go. And now maybe the camera picks. Let's pick the camera actually. And you know that you're over the nominal level, and that's very useful for handling signals. Let me get some sound examples. With maybe some LFO for you to hear modulation. And you can get more sources. Then the VCA can be controlled direct from here, and it expects 0 to 5 volts to get a full range, which I can demonstrate later with the Modulator module. I'll actually use this sawtooth and get also CV from the keystep. And close that to demonstrate you the next module, which is the delay. This is actually 3 delays, not one. It has 3 delays in series. And what you can do with that is that you can have a multi-tap feedback, and you can have separate output for each stage, like the first stage, second stage, and master, which is the third stage and all the rest. You have an inbuilt modulation, and a delay time from 30 milliseconds to about a second. So let me also get some trigger here for the VCA, because I will need. So let me see. First, second. There you go. Sorry, it's full. There we are. Okay, so sorry about that. So what we have here is a mix. And let's see the maximum delay time. There you go. And this is a classic Airbus design. It's very nice, it's very smooth. And you can have a multi-tap like that. And with the separate outputs, you can start mixing the signals and get weird stuff. You also have a CV input for the time. And then you also have an input which will help you manage your levels, a 10 volt pp input directly. And you have also another input that can handle even guitar levels for use maybe with other instruments. Now let's see the Ataxia, which is maybe a little bit more complicated to explain, but if I explain, then get straightforward. So, the Ataxia is a dual-channel modulator, which modulator can be either a function generator, an LFO, or an ADSR. So, right now we are in the ADSR mode, but I'll start over from the start. So, you choose your channel from here. You control either first channel or second channel. Here you choose if it's a modulator, which now it's a modulator, or an LFO. Now it's an LFO. So channel 1 is an LFO. And here you can see its rate, which rate is controllable from the rise and fall. And it can go very fast. I demonstrate that later. And you also have an LFO delay, where if you trigger it, it starts doing LFOs. It starts doing delays, sorry. Okay, let's demonstrate how that sounds. I'll just go to modulate an oscillator. So, the LFO, it can go up to 60 seconds or to audio rate. And here is the delay. If I trigger it, or a very long delay. What you also have is a variable curve, where you can go for triangle to different, this exponential curve or to logarithmic curve. And then, now this is a modulator, because I turned the LFO off, and you have rise, fall, hold for the modulator, and curve. So, each time I trigger a key, let's try to make a kick. And you can make very nice kicks, because it can reach about a half a millisecond of per curve of time. There you go. Then you can use that because you have two channels. You can use each channel separately, and these settings will be stored each time you change from channel to channel. So another mode is the ADSR mode, where you change both channel to ADSR. You just press those buttons together, and now everything is ADSR. You can change the curve from here. And you have two channels. You can control with CV the level or the total time of each modulator. And you also have separate level outputs for each one. And the LEDs, as I explained before, will show you what's happening there. So, the next module. Next module is a noise crusher and filter and some other stuff. I will just demonstrate because I'm not the best guy to explain stuff, as you already know that. Anyway, so what we have here is a noise going to different partial modules, let's say. From here, we get a pink noise, which is variable. Here you have a blue noise, variable again. Here you have a crust noise. which is also your random CV source. And here you have a random gate or digital noise. And here is another mode. I call it scatter because I cannot really explain why. You just see. Each time your gate is up, you get this random tsak tsak. And then you can cancel all the white noise going in here just by sending something to the external input. Let's use this and send an oscillator. So, this will work quite differently, especially on some modes. Now I'm sending a sine wave, and that's what scatter does for me. Let's go to the random gate source. You won't hear it. And here you're gonna get a bit crust sine wave. Actually, let me. There you go. If I change the waveform. And now the pink and blue noise act as filters. Here is the high pass. So as you see, is a multifunctional module with a lot of possibility there. You can even use it as a random gate CV to control a synthesizer or modules. And our last module to check is the Utopia. So to show you this, to demonstrate it, I will just set up a very quick basic patch. I'll just send one oscillator into the filter and then the filter output to the delay input and the delay into the Utopia. So let me also get the sound out. There you go. Now we just have a basic patch. And this works as an attenuator. The first thing I'd like to show you is the Pasteurizer. It just transforms everything into square waves. It's like a distortion, but not really. And you can start add stuff like the LFO, and it works something like a pulse width modulation for the whole signal. There you go. Let's get the original signal again. There you go. And now this will normally work as 4 attenuators going into a mixer, and you also have 3 outputs for that mixer. It's the same thing. And then the Pasteurizer will have an input and an output. Each time you send something to an input, you cancel the previous state. So it goes input for the attenuators, output for the attenuators, input for the mixer, which cancels the attenuators, output for the mixer, input for the Pasteurizer. If you put something, you cancel all the above, and it goes like that. You also have a voltage control LFO here, which is the LFO I used in case I needed something here, which is very high in rate. I can even add it as a sound source. There you go.
What shape is that?
Now it's a sine wave, but if you go out to the Pasteurizer, now it's a square wave. There you go. And that's about it. So they should be available around December, and they start from 99 euros up to 79, which is the Utopia, 79. 99 is the oscillator. Everything else in between is 89 euros. And that's it.
Yannis, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.